tsunami alert review. I've just suggested some changes to the wording because, of course, staff are. We actually haven't formally adopted the received the tsunami alert review as a council, so it's got to come back to council. So the proposal is that the resolution read, and I'm happy to move that staff note that staff are developing advice on the tsunami alert review, request staff to prepare and report back on the tsunami alert review and an implementation plan based on the tsunami alert review. You don't need to repeat it. And request staff to consider
include funding options.
Request staff to consider resourcing options for resilience plans and community-led preparedness plans, which may be one and the same. So resourcing options to assist communities to lead the development of resilience and preparedness plans. I mean, they may well be one and the same. That's why. Or for the communities to lead the development of resilience, and then just do a / preparedness, because I mean, to me they're one and the same. Yeah, and then delete the rest. Right, cool. That's something that's the reason that, and I'll just explain why I've played around with the wording. The reason is that there are some recommendations that are in the review. I mean, the review is excellent. The recommendations are excellent, but I think there will be other recommendations that we'll want to consider as a result of some of the advice that's in the review. For example, the McDem advice on tsunami sirens requires some very specific work to be done in terms of the future. So I would like to move that. And Yanni, are you happy to second it?
Yeah. No,
right.
Possibly ask the question number 3.
Right.
Just very quickly, and I'll just include this in my speaking to it. I strongly support us receiving this formally, and I just wondered whether we should put a date on that. We've seen in our area that we've got a number of groups coming to the local board for funding, but it's not just to prepare the plans; it's also for the equipment, like the safety vests, the other things that people want in an emergency prepared kit. So I just wondered whether it's not just the funding and resourcing for the development of the plans, it's actually also the resourcing of the equipment that people feel that they should have in place. So I just wondered if 3 could include that, or if it already does. But yeah. So I just think it's good practice when we get a review like that was undertaken, that we do get a formal report back with here's what we do to respond, and which is great. So I'm very supportive of doing that, and I think it's really important that we get that with a chance to consider.
Just going to change number 2 to request staff to prepare and report back. Prepare and report back. It just doesn't make sense. Request staff to report back. To report back on tsunami alert review by the end of June. And provide advice
on the implementation and recommendation.
Provide advice on
the implementation of its recommendations.
An implementation plan for those recommendations. Because what we want to do is make sure that we as governance are signing off on the recommendations and the implementation plan. So that the implementation plan may need some adjustment depending on how we respond to the recommendations. Yeah.
And sorry, are you able to include, is that able to look at what the options are for people actually acquiring the equipment as part of the plan?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I'd rather leave it just general, but I'm kind of noting that there may be cost implications to the resilience and preparedness plans, but that comes next.
So
Yeah.
we could just take the development out to lead resilience and community plans. So, because it would be the development and the implementation. So, it's the communities to lead resilience and community preparedness plans. And take the development out.
Well, but that's what they're coming for. All right, so can we just leave it like that? Yeah.
And I've just got a question about the timing of it, and perhaps Mary can answer this, because I understand that ECAN, and clearly this will be joined up with the other pieces of work that are being done, but one that ECAN have asked for from NIWA is a whole tsunami risk report too, and I understand that isn't due till about July.
But that's
So,
got nothing to do with this.
Well, it's really just to check with Mary that in fact...
Yeah.
So there will be some work potentially flowing out of this that the team has started on already around the tsunami zones where welfare centres should be located and transport or evacuation plans. So there will be some work undertaken in advance, but some of it won't be able to be finalised till other partners have finished their work.
Yeah,
so it will identify that in the plan, the timing of things.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Aaron?
Yeah, Mary, will that plan also indicate the routes, the evacuation routes? Because we don't currently have signage for that. Most cities and townships overseas do. They're like a large blue tsunami exit route.
Actually, most cities don't. Wellington does, because they went through a very detailed community
I mean
engagement
overseas,
process.
like all the west coast of the US and stuff do.
So the plan will identify when and how that will be done. So the plan we won't be ready by the end of June to have all those things in place, but the plan will identify that work is beginning on this, and we anticipate that it will be completed by X date.
Right.
So work has started on evacuation plans and routes, but there are other agencies that have to be part of that as well.
Thank you.
At least we've got the maps online now.
Yeah.
Right, so I shall put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.